Hello and welcome to Home vs. House. I'm Lisa. This is a channel where I share budget-friendly home decor and lifestyle ideas, guys. Today I am doing some work in my back garden. So my backyard garden, which is a combination of a kitchen garden as well as a living space, an outdoor living space. So things have come back from last year. I have also planted a few vegetable seeds a few weeks ago, and we had lots of rain over the past couple of days, and so things are definitely sprouting, and I am really grateful for that. So earlier today I was putting together this piece here. This is things that I already had on hand, and my idea here is to put some strawberry plants in here, so pounded into the ground, erected, and planting some strawberry. What I do for all of my space, guys, especially my outdoor space, I use things I have. I thrift a lot. I use my imagination. So for example, this pieces of metal gates, I picked that up from my neighbor a couple of years ago that was throwing it out, and clearly it's pieces to a gate, and here it is, adding some elevation to my garden. I have some sweet peas planted here, so this is going to act as a trellis. And then I have some beans over on this side, and lo and behold, I have a trellis as well. Recently I cut a headboard that I had in my garage that I wasn't using, and I needed some pavers here, and eventually I'm probably going to get some pavers, but I usually start off with things that I already have, just to keep on budget. And then as things go on sale, then I pick it up as I'm able to. This morning I picked up a few bags of red mulch from my local garden store, and I'm going to add it here. Last year, guys, I bought some foxglove seeds and I planted it up here, and it's coming up this year. So that's another tip. I use a lot of seeds versus plants because they're just more affordable, and I just exercise patience, and before long those seeds manifest into plants. So over here I repurpose things. I bring things from one area of my outdoor space. So these irises are examples of that. I have some planted up in my front yard, and I showed that space a few weeks ago. And so last year when I was developing this space, I bought some of the irises from up front here, and they are blooming, guys, and adding some really nice colors to my space. This here is a combination of I think Black Eye Susan and cone plants, and I had picked those up from seeds the year before last from my local library. I recently planted 2 blueberry plants over here that I got from my local Aldi's. I'm not sure that's a great place for it, so I might end up moving it, but for now my idea was to cover up my my AC unit. I have these 2 blackberry plants here that I planted last year. They were baby plants. In these pots I have some seedlings growing. Over here I have some plants coming up from last year. A few weeks ago I constructed this bench here from thrifted materials. The throw pillows I had gotten last year, the end of last summer, on sale. I brought out one of my spider plants for this corner, and then this is a DIY table that I did. Actually, I did the tabletop last year, and then this year I just painted it with some paint that I have on hand. These, the shelving I did last year, and then these metal pieces were items that I had used on my indoor years ago, and I held on to them, and I'm using it out here in this space. These were some more up flip furniture. I recently got this plant from another area of my home, and I bought it out here. So I recently added these gates here. So I had the blocks, I had some of the blocks over there. Here I did a rock wall last year, and all my stuff is movable. I try to make it temporary so that if I have other ideas of moving it to another space, I can easily do that. And so I thought this was a better setup. I do have some plans to use this bamboo piece here and to line the gates, but I have not settled on that just yet, so I'm gonna wait on that. But those are some ideas that I had. This here is my makeshift potting table that I just used. This was a table that I used up on my back porch, and it got damaged. The glass got damaged, and so I kept the frames, and I had some wood. I had a different setup here with a table out here last year, and I just took it apart and added the wood here. And again, this is a potting station, and these 4 chairs were my dining room chairs that I used inside. And last year I got some different dining room chairs, and I'm using these out here. And again, I recently painted this just to add some cohesiveness to this space. My sedums are coming back from last year, and butterfly plants. I recently did some weeding, so I have it sitting here. Let's see what else. Also, what's coming up is my squash. So I have some squash growing here, and they have sprouted, and they're from seeds, guys. And it was only a few weeks ago. Over here in these cinder blocks, I have a combination of herbs, onions, and so growing. My peonies I bought from up front, and I have it over here. Alongside here, I have some cucumbers and some, I believe it's kale growing here. So the kale has not sprouted yet, but I see some of the cucumbers. So here's one. Here's another one. So that's growing nicely. These are coming back from last year. I planted these last year or the year before. I have some seeds growing in here, in these pots here. One of my spider plants that I brought out here got quite a bit of frostbite. And then also in this cinder blocks, I have a combination of herbs as well. Here's another DIY upcycle plant table. And here, So guys, these are, I believe they're corn plants is what they're called. And they are, so in a lot of places they're considered a weed. However, I did some research on them and they have some, you can use it for, they're edible. You can use it for salads, teas. And so rather than rooting them up, doing my weeding process, I left them out here. I love the beautiful purple blooms on them, and they just add some color into space, and they were free. They popped up and I kept them. Here are some wild onions that I also use in my cooking. So these also popped up, and so I'm using them. All right, so I have quite a bit of blooms, and I really, other than my vegetable seeds, I really have not planted much back here. This area here I want to do some work on for the next few weeks. I do need to get some of the adhesive for these blocks and then build the wall up a little bit to create a little outdoor living space, guys. And I will add or reiterate that I do things in a budget-friendly way. I take my time. I get a lot of my plants at the end of previous seasons and just patiently wait for it to come back up. I replant things from other areas of my outdoor. So these hostas here came from the back last year, or came from the front, and last year I planted it here in the back in a more shaded area. And yeah, so I'm about to do some work here to add to this space. So guys, in my home, both on the inside and the outside, I take my time and I just do little improvements as I'm able to, and eventually it all comes together. This space a year plus ago was just full of weeds, and I focused on the front because the front area was an area that I felt like I could do. I'm a new gardener, and I just collected items as I went along, used my creative mind, and came up with this so far. And so this space has been transformed, even from last year to this year. But last year, the beginning of the season last year is when I really did some work. I think I started the year before, but didn't really have much. And here it is this year. I can't wait for my kitchen garden to harvest, and I'm able to come off my porch and get to the edibles in my garden here for the summer. So guys, I'm gonna get to work, and I hope this video inspires someone to get started. Wherever your starting point is, just get started. I do a lot of thrifting. The Restore is my friend. I frequent restores. I shop my home. Things that I'm not using any longer on the indoors, I bring outdoors. And so yeah, again, friends, just get started wherever your starting point is, and just be patient and courageous, and before long you will have a space that you can enjoy. I love coming out here in the mornings, sitting over here and just enjoying the birds, enjoying just the peacefulness. Back here it's nice and cool. This is north facing, so I do get some sunlight here, but it's a shaded area, so it's really nice on the hotter weather. In fact, over here this place stays amazingly cool And that is the reason why I set up this area. All right, guys, now that I have given you a walkthrough on the before, I will get to work, and then I will come back towards the end and show you the after product. So guys, enjoy the rest of this video, or at least this portion of this video, with a little bit of music, and I'll be back towards the end. I'll see you here in a little bit. Here is the finished yard, or I wouldn't say finished, but updated yard. So it is the next day, and it rained last night considerably. I love to come out here after the rain because everything is just lush. The dirt itself looks richer, and it's just really nice and peaceful. So here is my strawberry patch here. I have 2 strawberry plants in there. I may get some more for it. I put down some mulch. I ended up getting a few more bags of mulch, so in all I put down 10 bags of mulch here. And I still have some more work to do, guys, but this is what this looks like. All right, so here are the various angles of this backyard space with the 3 garden rooms. Again, got some work to do in this area. Have some ideas brewing in my head, and I can't wait to finish it up. Here's another angle of this garden. This is another area that I like to sit and kind of just get a scope of my backyard area. All right, guys, that is it. I hope again this inspires someone to get started on their garden and see what it yields, and do little by little and celebrate each step, right? Because each step brings together the full thing in the end. All right, guys, take care, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.